You work really hard to create amazing videos for your YouTube channel, and sometimes you hear, did you know that your thumbnail has a huge impact on whether people watch your videos? Today I'm going to show you how to use a free tool called CANVA to create amazing thumbnail images for your videos. Be sure to stay to the end of this video for other amazing resources like CANVA. If you are looking for great marketing tips to help grow your business, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified each week when we post a new video. Hi, I'm Jeannie Wilson and I'm a professionally trained graphic designer. However, nowadays you don't need to be a professionally trained graphic designer, nor do you need expensive software to design eye-catching, client-attracting images. Today I'm going to share with you step-by-step how to create thumbnails that really stand out. Let's jump in. Okay, so on to let's design some thumbnails. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you our thumbnail and then I'm going to show you how I created it. So you're going to need to sign up for a Canva account. It is actually a free account. So we have a paid version, has some upgrades to it, which I love, but you do not need a paid version for this. So this is what we're going to duplicate because it has a few nice features on it. So I'm going to copy this page and then I'm just going to take it all apart. Actually, not take it apart. I'm going to just delete everything on here. Okay, so when you start out doing your thumbnail, you're going to start out up here and go File, Create New Design, and you're going to put custom dimensions in, and then you're going to want it 1280 pixels wide by 720 pixels high, and you can just hit Create New Design. So you're going to get the screen that I'm looking at right now. So what you can do to start out with is actually put a background color on here. So I'm going to go over to Elements, and then I'm going to pick a shape. That's a square, but we're actually going to make it a rectangle. So I'm going to make it the same size. Just drag these sides out to make it fill the space. And then I know that this is purple, but I want it to actually be green. So I'm going to click up here for the color. And when you have the upgraded version, it comes up with document colors. And then these are our colors for our brand. And then it shows you photo colors. But if you don't have the upgraded version, it's just going to show you new color, and then it'll show you default colors. So I just want to know why, if you have a free version, your screen might look a little different than mine. So I'm going to go ahead and put this dark green back there. And then what in the background, there is actually a picture. This one's a little hard to see, but this one you can see that woman's face in the background. There's a computer in the background. So what I did for that one was I went into Photos. And these are all photos that you can use at any time for anything you're creating on Canva, which is fantastic. Now, keeping in mind that the ones with the crowns are for a pro subscriber, which means, again, we have the pro version, so we get to use these free. However, if you had the free version and you wanted to use these, I believe it's only $1. So you can put them into your design, and when you go to download it, it will say, we need to charge you $1 for these images. So you can put them in as a placeholder and then try and find a free image on some of the other royalty-free platforms that offer free images. I will say, do not take any images off of anyone else's website. Don't use images that you find searching on Google. It has to be something from either a platform like Canva like this, or something from another royalty-free stock photography site that offers free images that you can use. Otherwise, you're going to have licensing issues. So some of these, a lot of these right now, I can see they say pro, but there are some that will say free on them. So what I wanted to search for was our topic, which is how to easily sell video marketing services. So I was thinking about shaking hands. Shaking hands, which to me represents, doing a deal. So I ended up selecting this first photo, which you can kind of see in the background. But there's loads and loads of photos here that I could have chosen. Maybe we'll do this one instead. Okay, and all I did was click on the photo and then it shows up on the right-hand side where I'm working. And then for these, you don't want to drag the sides because it'll distort the picture. Actually, I won't distort the picture, just make it bigger. But we like to grab the corners. And then I will pull that side. Now, to get it to show up like a background like this, we go up here to transparency and we make this more transparent. Now you can kind of see the green coming through, okay? Because we want it to be in the background. We want it to represent doing business, but we don't need it to be jumping out. So I like that. And again, at any time we can go back and adjust the transparency. We can adjust, things that don't feel like, it doesn't feel like it's working. So the next thing I need to do on here is I need to get a picture of Kirsten without a background. And this is something that is really, really useful on Canva on the upgraded version. So what I normally do is I will open up the original video file and I will...
YouTube videos are a great way for business owners to create one piece of content that can be shared across many platforms.
So I stop it at a point when I think I can get a nice shot of her. I mean, she's so pretty that it's not that hard. So, oops, I had it and I lost it. Okay, so now I've got a really nice pretty picture of Kirsten. So on my Mac, I want to get rid of the background so I can use it on my thumbnail. So on my Mac, I'm going to do Command-Shift-4, which gives me these little crosshairs, and then I can cut out what's more or less a square size. And it takes a screenshot. Now, if you were using a PC, you could go ahead and hit on your keyboard, you hit print screen, and it will print the whole screen. We can adjust that when you upload it to Canva. So now I'm gonna jump back over to Canva, and I have another file set up here. And you could set this up, at any time and just do like I do and use it over and over again. And I can look here. So I just made this one 200 by 200, but you probably want to make it bigger than that. Let's make it 600 by 600. Just resize it. Okay, so you have to hit copy and resize. So now it's resized this picture to 600 by 600. And the reason that I want to do that is I want it to be a sharp picture. I want to have a nice crisp look to it. So I am going to delete this picture of Kirsten because this was from an old one. And I'm going to click Uploads. And I'm going to upload the image, the screenshot that I just took of Kirsten. And you can see it's loading here with the colors on it. And also you can see how this circle is filling up. That means it's loading. Okay, now that's gone away. So all I have to do is click on the picture and it shows up on the right-hand side. Now I want to make it larger, same size as here. Then while it's selected, I'm gonna hit Effects, Background Remover. And I'm telling you, I am trained in Photoshop and all of the professional graphic design programs, but having this background remover is such a wonderful and quick way to adjust an image. So now you can see the background is gone. It's fantastic. So I'm just going to bring her down a little bit, and then I'm going to click on download because this is ready to go. And I'm going to download it with a transparent background. Again, that's part of the pro version, the paid version. If you did not have a paid version and you wanted to do something similar, what I suggest is you go over here to your elements and you type in frame. And you can tell these are frames because they have this little cloud and the blue sky and the green grass. And what a frame will do, and if you wanted to pick a circle frame, we're going to pull that all the way up here. Then I would go back to uploads and grab my picture. And when you drag your picture, it automatically fits itself into the frame. I'm telling you, that background remover and downloading it as transparency, they might be worth just getting Canva just because you have access to those tools. So I'm going to save it in my video. And if you notice when I click down here, I said I wanted to download it because there's other things you can do with it. Then I like the size 600 by 600, but if I want to make it bigger, I could. I have the option to do a transparent background. And here I selected I only want to do page 1. And so all it did was download page 1, which is this picture. So now we're back at our design. And we're going to bring Kirsten's picture in here. We're going to hit uploads. And we're going to upload an image. And we are going to go to where our document is. And now you can see her picture even in here doesn't have a background. So when I click on it and bring it into my thumbnail, there's no background, which is fantastic. And I can resize it a little bit. I like to make her kind of big. So there you go. It's pretty close. Okay, now there are other little elements. Again, I wanted to represent selling video marketing services brings your business more money and makes you more money. So what I did was I went over here to elements and typed in money. And it brings up all different kinds of options that you can use. All kinds of, they're more or less clip art. They're just little pictures. And I could have used a money bag or somebody handing out money. But for this particular one, I used this. And then you'll see that I tilted it a little bit. So I just rotated it a little. I can also make it a little bit bigger. And then I just dragged it up here. So make it a little smaller so people can see it. And, you know, I could have had it come out here, could have had it come out the top of her head. So, let's turn it just a little bit more. Okay, so that's how we more or less got that. Because we have a different picture, it's a little different. We can make it, we can move her over a little, we can make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now this part is really just some text on top of a block of color. So we're going to go back to actually our elements. We can do a rectangle and then just pick, it's actually a square. Well, that one worked, and it's actually the right color, but if I wanted to change the color again, I could click up here and choose another color. So I'm going to bring that down here. Change the size. I'm just going to leave it there for a second. The first thing I wanted to write is how to. So if I go over here to text, because I want to add a text box on top of this. So you're kind of getting the feeling that each one of these pieces is a layer. So we're layering things on top of each other. So I know that I want to use, and again, with the upgraded version, it automatically gives me, these are our brand fonts that I have uploaded to Canva. So that's really nice and handy because you want to try and use your branded fonts. However, if you didn't have branded fonts, or you wanted to do something fun or funky, or just use, really cool, different text, then you can look at some of these great font combinations that they've used. And if you find one that you love, go ahead and use it. So for this, I'm going to click on add a heading, and I'm going to put how to. Okay, but you can see that's a lot smaller. So I'm going to highlight it. I can go up here, make it larger. Oops, that made it smaller. Make it larger. Make it larger. And if I wanted to change the font at this point, I can click on this down arrow, and you can see all these fonts. The ones with the crowns are the ones for Canva Pro users, which is the upgraded version, but you can see how many, there's still tons of fonts to use that you can use that you don't have to pay for. And then I'm gonna grab this when it turns into crosshairs and bring it up there. Then I'm gonna highlight it again, and I'm gonna change the text color to white. So what you can do here is you can click on the left part of your mouse, left click on your mouse, or in my case, I'm using the pad on my computer, my laptop. And then you can highlight and select both the background, the colored background, and the text at the same time. And then what you want to go up here and do is group them together so they will stay together. You can move them together if you want to move them around. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on it. So it's selected the text and the background. I'm going to copy it, which is Command C on my keyboard. Then I'm going to click outside of it, and then Command V to paste it. So now you can either go ahead and put cell in here. But if you want to change the size of it, you have to go up here and hit the 3 buttons and ungroup it. So you can change the size of the text box and the size of the background separately. And then I would highlight them both and then group them back together. How to sell, and then we want marketing. So I just did paste again. I'm gonna highlight and type in marketing. Oops, that's not big enough. So now I'm gonna ungroup it and deselect it. And then I'm gonna select the text, make that text box big enough. If you're having trouble selecting what you need to, like I am, you can just pull this down. Just get it out of the way. I was trying to be clever and get it done right on top of it. Sometimes it doesn't work. And then you can use the arrows on your keyboard as well. If you've got a box selected, whether that's a box of text or color, then you can use your keyboard to move it just gently up and down. Okay, let's see. Easily, video and services. And I like to try and keep the text box close to the size of the text. Otherwise, you can run into trouble with it overlapping other imagery that you might want to use. So now I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it. Now you could just leave it like this because the white does stand out pretty well on the green background. So since I've already shown you how to do the text with the background, I'm not going to go and do that again, but you can adjust these around a little bit and see how you feel about it. You can even take some of these and tilt them, put them at an angle if you wanted something to stand out a little bit. And then I think the only other, and then the other element on here is the cache kind of cascading down. I like that. So again, we went over here to elements. Now I'm going to put in here money. And actually, I believe I used this one, even though you can't see the hands. So I'm gonna drag this down here and make it bigger. And I didn't really want the hands on there. I thought that was kind of creepy. So I just dragged them down here and just made it bigger. But when I did that, I was like, I wanted to have more money on there than that. So what I did was I copied it, deselect it, pasted it, and then I didn't necessarily want them to look like they were the exact same image, so I flipped them. I flipped it horizontal so that it would be more of a mirror image. I thought that'd be kind of fun. And you could, bring that down a little bit, or, however. But obviously I don't want this on top of Kirsten. So I'm gonna hit position and then backward, and keep hitting backward until it goes all the way behind her. Okay, now you can see that shows up behind her. And then the same with this one, backward, backward, backward. And it's just, again, this is layers. So it's going, one layer at a time, because each element is considered a different layer. Oops. So I'm gonna move Kirsten over a little bit because I want to get rid of these hands, and I want to make this money overlap a little bit there. So then I can move her back. Okay, so that's more or less, I guess, because I put the extra stuff in the background, you probably would be better off putting the darker purple background and really make it pop. So that's how you can build a thumbnail image in Canva. That's all there is to it. So what I would do here now is download it, keep it at the same size. I would select the page because I have a whole bunch of these in the same one, and done. And then it's just going to download that image. And then when you're ready, thumbnail B, thumbnail image. So now it's ready. So when you go to YouTube and it asks you for the thumbnail, all you do is upload that image. So in this image or thumbnail, we use some dollar signs, some dollars, some cash. So tell me in the comments what else you think that we could have used in this video to represent more sales and selling video marketing services specifically, because maybe we'll go ahead and change our thumbnail, because we can, as I've shown you, we can search for some elements in here, whether it was money, or it could be cash, or it could be, I don't know, you tell me. So let me know in the comments below how you think, what other imagery you think that we could have used to make our thumbnail better. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about different types of thumbnail images and what you're kind of looking for. So I'll show you our YouTube channel. So you can see we've got our cover image that has our purples and our greens. And then as you come down here, you can see the purple and the green in the consistency, but not everything is the same. Kirsten's on one side, she might be on the other side. Sometimes it's a picture of me. We changed the background up. Now, when we started, we had a slightly different design. I really like this when Kirsten does something fun like this, like putting the money in front of her. We had a slightly different look, which was this, but we felt like that wasn't interesting enough. It wasn't helping our numbers grow. So we went ahead and started editing our thumbnails, because it really does have an impact on how your channel grows. So I'm going to show you some other ones just to give you some other ideas, because there's lots and lots of things you can do. And you can go and look at some of your favorite ones. We love Sunny. And actually her first videos that show up right now, she doesn't really have text on them, but you could see in the past her colors are yellow or gold and black. And so you can see you can do faces, you can put your phone in front of the camera. There's an infinite number of things that you can do. She's been pretty consistent. And before that, she had more of a big white text on top of her picture. So, you're going to want to experiment a little bit with these and with pictures and stuff to see what is going to be most effective. to your audience. And you can see here, she was doing things, the writing sideways and adding like a $sign or a key. So initially you can pick something that you feel like represents your brand and that you like. And then as time goes on, you can look at the numbers and see what your audience is really attracted to. Here's somebody else that we love, Neil Patel. He's brilliant. You can see his color is orange and black. And he's very, very consistent. I mean, he even has the same picture in a lot of these. So, you know, that is something that you can do. I think he was doing some series, and that's why they were exactly the same. So he did like an SEO series, SEO Unlocked. So, but you can see that, you know, you would be able to create this now after what we talked about. You know, he used the orange in the background, he used an image on top of it. He probably put some transparency on that, and then he put the color behind his text, and he made his text nice and bold and white. And then he put his name on the right-hand side. He threw his the name of his series in here, SEO Unlocked. Let's see. We'll look at another one. Pretty Over 50. She does a really nice job. Now hers is very simple, pink with some black. So you can see her thumbnail images. They're similar. They've got her face on them because she's talking about, you know, keeping your skin healthy and your body healthy over 50. But you can see how she's used the pink and the black, and she's put in the background, instead of using an image, she's more or less used white or gray or something very light so that her text pops. So you can really see that. And she's used lots of different types of fonts in some of these. So, you know, she may be testing out, you know, which fonts are getting the most reaction. But you can see there's still, even though they're different, there's still a lot of consistency there. And that's what you're looking for as far as thumbnails. You want people to, when they get there, to know where they are and to know that, oh, that's your brand. So here's Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels. We love Russell. Some of his more recent ones are not quite as on his brand, but you can see he uses a lot of blue. He uses the yellow with the black text. He uses the white text. Lots of pictures of him. They're all outlined. Not all of them. A lot of them are outlined in white. So lots and lots of. He's got lots of crazy faces and. And he shows his book. So, you know, there's lots and lots of things and ideas that you can do out there. These look like these were a little bit different, where he had a person and then he had a different color behind them.
Here-ish.
So these are a little different. They were, you know, people's heads with a color behind them. There's a blue and a red and a purple. So, you know, again, he was obviously trying out some different things to see, you know, how that works. And you can see, again, this is a year ago and they were much more colorful. So he's been checking out, you know, and seeing what's working and what's not, and let's try, you know, a slightly different approach and a slightly different look to see how the numbers add up. We pulled together a whole bunch of great tools and resources like Canva and put them into a report for you. And you can get a copy of it for free by clicking on the link below. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up so that I know to create more videos just like this one. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified when we post new videos. And don't forget to check out all of our other cool Canva training videos. And for more great information on what you can do on the Canva platform, be sure to click the link, and it's going to show you all the videos that we've created using Canva. Thanks for watching. See you next time.